Tax season is knocking, and if your return is anything like mine with backdoor Roths, Schedule C, and investment income, you're probably bracing for a pricey slog. In this video, I will run through the various different tax platforms you can do to prepare your return. I'll tell you which one is my favorite, as well as the key things you should be doing before April 15th to optimize your finances. Most people assume that TurboTax is the only game in town for complex taxes, but here's the secret weapon. In 2025, in my opinion, FreeTaxUSA handles everything for next to nothing. TurboTax keeps on jacking up prices without getting better. I used it for 10 years and dished it for FreeTaxUSA. Best switch I ever made, and I am not looking back. I'll break down federal and state filing costs for the top platforms, compare them, plus give you 3 tax moves to cut your bill before April 15th. If you're new here, hey, I'm Daniel. I built 7-figure wealth from a tech career by my early 30s, and now I'm sharing simple, no BS strategies to help you grow your money, no Wall Street lingo required. Let's get into it. Tax season 2025 is here, and for complex filers like us, backdoor Roth IRAs, Schedule C, and investment income, you need a platform that's affordable and capable. I've tested TurboTax, H&R Block, TaxSlayer, Cash App Taxes, and FreeTaxUSA. Spoiler! TurboTax is the most expensive and my least favorite. It's been bleeding me dry for years. Last year, I switched to FreeTaxUSA and saved $150 on my complex return. In order to help you with comparisons across the platform, I've created a table that I will include in the description down below. What I've done is compare the offering levels across each provider for columns. If we go down the rows, we have the different features that are being compared. We look at cost, then coverage, then support, then the experience and who this particular offering might be best for. And then finally, we look at really detailed features. This allows you to go deep if you want to understand which one fits you best. But let me give you a high-level overview. Here's the full breakdown, federal plus state costs included. TurboTax Premium costs $129 for federal plus $64 for state, for a total of $193. Its unique feature, an AI assistant for 24/7 questions. H&R Block Self-Employed charges you $85 for a federal return and $45 for state, for a total of $130. Their unique feature is in-person support at 10,000 plus locations across America. Great if you're nervous about DIY filing. TaxSlayer Self-Employed costs $59.99 for federal and $39.99 for state, for a total of $99.98 or $100. Its unique feature is quarterly tax reminders. It saved my partner $1,200 in deductions last year as a freelancer. Next up, we have Cash App Taxes. It's free for a federal return and free for a state return, so it costs you nothing. Its unique feature is that it's totally free, but no live support and no multi-state filing. So it's a no-go for a complex return. Finally, we have the platform that I use this year, FreeTaxUSA. It is a free federal return and a $14.99 state return, for a total of $14.99. Its unique feature is the breadth of forms that it supports. It supports Form 8606 if you do the backdoor Roth IRA, Schedule C, and investment income. I filed my messy return last year for under $15 without any hiccups. TurboTax charged me $193 for the same return FreeTaxUSA nailed for $14.99. It's a ripoff unless you are desperate for handholding. Let's talk about how I am shrinking my tax bill. Move 1, max out your IRA, either traditional or Roth, $7,000 by April 15th. If you have too much income, you should know about the backdoor Roth IRA and filing Form 8606. FreeTaxUSA handles this perfectly at no extra cost, unlike TurboTax's premium price tag. If you are confused about 2024 IRA income limits, I've got you covered. Check the table on the screen. Roth IRAs allow full contributions if you are under the low end, phase out in the middle, and nothing at the top. Traditional IRAs allow deductions depending on your workplace plan. There's a range for everyone, no plans, no limit. All the numbers are in the table. If you were to fill your Roth IRA from the age of 18 until the age of 60 with $7,000 a year, you would save yourself over $600,000 in today's money in taxes. So this is really a no-brainer if you can do it. Move 2. You should tweak your withholdings with the IRS estimator. Stop overpaying or risking penalties. If you're getting money back on your tax return, it means you are lending Uncle Sam money that could be sitting in your investment account. Move number 3, track deductions like a pro. If you're self-employed, you should be logging your mileage and home office expenses. As a bonus, if you're on a high deductible healthcare plan in the past year, you should fund your HSA. $4,150 for singles, $8,300 for families. It is a triple tax perk. You deduct it from your income, you grow it tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free for medical stuff. Deadlines are key. IRA and HSA contributions are due on April 15th. So not everyone can take advantage of all of these moves. IRAs are available to everyone. If you have excessive income to not qualify for Roth IRAs, you can still do a backdoor Roth IRA. I'm not going to cover that here, but you can look it up. Withholdings should be looked at if you have a refund or if you have a penalty that you owe the government. Deductions are for people with 1099 or self-employment income, and the health savings account is only for people who have a high deductible healthcare plan, which in 2024 was a plan with a minimum deductible of $1,600 for an individual or $3,200 for a family. Now let's settle who's the king of the tax platforms. Time for the showdown. TurboTax is $193 total. AI and live experts are nice, but it's overpriced and hasn't improved in years. H&R Block is $130 total. Solid with in-person help if you're stuck, but still pretty expensive. TaxSlayer's $99.98 is great for freelancers with those quarterly nudges. But really, my 2 favorites are the ones that save you the most money. That would be Cash App Taxes. If you have a fairly simple return, it's totally free. Then there's FreeTaxUSA, free federal, $14.99 state, $14.99 total. It handles Form 8606 for backdoor Roth IRAs, Schedule C, and investments. Basically everything I need. It doesn't have AI or live chat, but you can just go on ChatGPT, and I don't really miss that. Last year, I filed in under an hour, saved about $178 over TurboTax, and got the same refund. It was my first year using FreeTaxUSA, so I actually did the return in TurboTax as well, just to compare that I did in fact get the same refund, and it was straightforward. TurboTax buries you in upsells, FreeTaxUSA just works. An audit defense with FreeTaxUSA only costs $6.99. That's pretty cheap insurance. So the champ for me, hands down, is FreeTaxUSA for complex returns like the one that I have to do. If you need in-person help, H&R Block would be the one I'd go to. If you are a freelancer on a budget, perhaps consider TaxSlayer. And TurboTax, well, if you love overpaying, that's the platform for you. Tax season doesn't have to suck. If you can, max out your IRA, fund an HSA, adjust your withholdings, and make sure that you're tracking deductions. Do all of those things and you're not just filing, you're winning. Last takeaway is really that taxes are a strategy, not a chore. Play it smart and keep more cash. If you learned anything, like and subscribe and tell me below which platform is your favorite pick. And if you want to learn about the Trump tariffs, check out this video over here.